Hello and welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today I'm going to be doing this piece of petrified wood I got in New Mexico. It fractured up when I was slabbing it. Here's a part of it, maybe not that one. I've got two pieces that broke up. This was the original size and they had a fracture in them. And I've got two of those to do that I'm going to make freeform cabs. This one doesn't look like it's going to be too good because of the chipping in on the back of it, but we'll find out. It does have a few fractures coming through on the other side also. Same with this one, it's got fractures all over it. I don't know how good they're going to do. If nothing else, I'll just round off the corners and tumble them. This one here should be a good one, a better one. So that's why I've got it separate. And then this one shouldn't be too bad. The only fractures I can see in it are on this side and they're already healed. That's why they're black colored rather than, unless that's something to do with the stuff that replaced the wood. But we'll see what we can come up with. Let me fix the camera over here where we can see what we're doing. A little closer up. There we go. Now let's get started. I'm going to start this on the 220 just because it's so small, and I'm not going to take all that much off of it. I want to try to save some of this over here. Those patterns, which shouldn't be hard, I don't think. This one here is from the fracture, where it was fractured too, and this is where it was starting to heal. Same with this, but it still wasn't quite healed enough to stay in one piece when they broke it out of there. I don't know how they got this from where they got it, or what they broke it up with. I bought it at a rock shop in New Mexico. And I already did one piece of it already, so I'm going to start on the rest of it here. Actually, I'm going to do this. Take these sharp corners off. Ooh, that's got a fracture going along it right there. So I might have to take that whole end off. But I'm going to use the 80 grit to take those off. It'll be a lot faster. And then I'll go back to the 220. Looks like all my good patterns are going to stay. I'm going to lighten up some of it. There's not going to be that red rust looking covering on it, because I think that's what was filling in those cracks with some kind of sand. I'll know here in a little while. Oh yeah, that's going to look pretty good. A nice little agate pocket in the center of it there with fortification lines, a fortification line around it. Probably the center of it's probably filled with quartz. Still got a little bit more to take off on that side. At least to get it down to about halfway here, and then I can start rounding it on both sides. Okay, now I'll go back to the 220. I got about the best shape I'm going to get out of it without losing all of this good grain around the outsides. Thinking that's the way I should have sliced it, but this doesn't look too bad on its own either. On the face of it, it didn't look as good when I cut it because even with it wet, I just didn't have all the lights on, I think, in here. I think that's where I messed up. Let's see which side do I want to do first. Do the side that's got the tip on it first. Or got the chip out of it. Okay, I believe I may be ready to go to the next wheel. Down to the 280 grit. The shape I'm going to go with. Not sure which side I'll make the face yet. Maybe just sell the cab like it is with somebody else. Wire wrap it or something. What I was thinking of is I could drill a hole in this flatter side because this other side's kind of pointed on one edge. No big deal. We'll just use it at the bottom. This is more flat, and I can drill a hole in the center of it, glue a bale into the hole, and that'd make it a little simpler. So we'll go ahead and start smoothing this down, getting all the flat spots and 280 grit or 220 grit scratches out of it. Excuse me. And we'll keep going. Lighter crystal in between these red stripes up here on this end. Leaving white spots like dust on the rock where the crystal was at. I'm just going to cut that little pocket out of those little lines. Got that. there. It's about to come out. See if I can take it off with this 280, and if I can't, I'll go back to the 220. I didn't think it was very thick. Almost got it off there. One little piece of it left. Forgotten about that fracture. Up in here. I think it comes, this one comes into right about there, but I don't see it on, well, yeah, there it is. Right there, it comes back to it also. I may have to treat this just in case. After I get done, just hit it with some super glue and I should say heat it up and hit it with some super glue. I'm going to drag that super glue in as it cools. And then go ahead and polish it again. Just to get the super glue off the surface and just leave it in the fracture itself. That way you won't be able to see it if it's even there. Wish I had a pressure chamber, but I don't yet. I might get one, but I don't know. Kind of seems like cheating to me to fix fractures. But when the stone looks this good, and the fractures didn't look like they were going to come apart anytime soon. They're a little bit offset between the two different sides, so that kind of wedges it in there. I hope, but just to be on the safe side. But this stuff can still be broken if you drop it hard enough on the right surface, or from far enough up on the right surface. Either way. It's not as hard as diamond, and I think you can break a diamond with a hammer. I think you can smash the crap out of it. I don't know that for a fact, but I know I've seen it on TV, but they're mostly glass. But if they used to take like a chisel and put it on the stone at an angle and then pop it with a rubber mallet, that's the same as a steel hammer. Maybe that steel hammer would take it out and bust it up, especially if you hit it hard enough. I had it on the right surface again. But that's just my guesstimation. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Darker inclusions are going to leave some dull spots, but hopefully I can get most of it out of there. Some of them have lighter colored ones that have crystals in them. This is the bug that's got the fortification line around it. It's either white agate or uh, opal. I don't think it's opal because it's not undercut. So it must be agate. And that was a dust print. Let me keep at this and see if I can get that off of there. That's an agate inclusion or quartz inclusion also. It's letting light through on this side, but not on the other side. We got more coming through. Top of it. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully that reflection wasn't hurting something or keeping you from seeing it. The inclusion goes all the way through, but it slants. Maybe it doesn't. Running it this way. Okay, I'm ready to go to the next wheel. Switch the camera around here a little bit. Okay, let's go to the 600 here. Ran off too quick. Got enough water going. Forgot that's the one that white is undercutting. That may be opal, common opal. Is there white fortification around here? If I put the show up, it should. There's that white bug in the center, white outline bug. The center is crystalline quartz. It's not quartzite, it's regular crystals, but they're just druzy type crystals. But you can see that actually I'm on the edge of that white that's not as thick. This outer edge out here isn't as thick going down into the stone as the rest of it, so it's starting to come off a little bit. that fracture is healed. And I can see it, but I can also polish it out. So it's mostly healed, which means that it's probably not going to break out of there anytime soon. It doesn't look like it goes all the way over to that bug now. Still comes in from the outside edge of the stone, but that may be just an opening in it. It may be where it was chipped out and is like this, but it's healed back in here, and I've just slowly gotten to where I've gotten down where it's not fractured out anymore. Didn't have to be fractured much, just a little, enough to make it look like a crack. Because all of these over on this side, those black lines, those were fractures, I would say, at one time, and they've healed. Those are the ones I worry about most because they're different colors, which means they've got something else in them. And that quartzite runs into them a little bit from here over. Or quartz, Jersey quartz, whatever the heck it is. Softer spots that were undercutting. Just looked dull. And we took them off of there. Okay, we're ready to go to the next wheel. 1200 grit. Might want to turn on some water. I did turn it on, but I didn't check it. Now I'm making scratches short ways on my edges, and I think I know why. I'm getting too close to the outside edge of the pad on the wheel. I'm getting them where it's more crystals. There's probably bigger crystals also, or bigger grit pieces than in the center. I'll go ahead and get what I can out of it with this. Get the scratches out, the sideways scratches. I know the long way scratches came from this, but the grit was a little bit bigger because it was crystals, a little bit bigger grit. That's breaking out. Okay, that'll work. Let me go to the next wheel and try to get those off with it. I do still have some sideways scratches on the other face too. But it took so long to get down to where I just had that few that I figured I'd better get as many of them as I could. Hey, I believe that we are dead. Got my fingers off. I don't wet it down for you. The side I was going to use for a phase, but I have decided now that I'm going to go ahead and drill it. You can still see a few dull spots in the bugs where the crystal's at. A few little bitty scratches. Same on this side, but this has got the smaller bug and it didn't have as many dull spots from the bugs. And I think with putting it in the top up here, putting the veil in the top, they can choose which side they want out. That way they can pick whichever side they want to be the representation of the stone. I think this side's got a little more variety in the color too. It's got a little more yellow in the bottom, a little more red in the top, less dark. Oh, and let's check out the letting light through now. Putting a little light through, not a lot, but it does let some, so you can tell it's pretty agatized. And it's just the darker colors that's keeping it from letting more through. Hopefully you can see that. I'll find out once it's kind of hard to do one-handed. If I put the other one up there, I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing with the stone and the light. So, but there you go. That's the rest. That's it for that one. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. So let's be zooming out. leave some tips if you got them. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong. I'm still new at this. And be happy. So thanks for watching. And have a good day. See you later.